rim out beyond Dantooine. She didn't get a very warm reception. She left data behind from which the simulation was created. Gavin sat back in his chair. You're telling me that thing is a starfighter being used by folks who attacked the Outer Rim? Yes. Technically, it's called a coral skipper by the species that created it. They grow them out of something called yorick coral. I've designated them skips for our purposes. And the princess brought this to the Senate's attention, and they didn't listen? Treyst shook his head. Opposing forces have been gathering power to fight over the whole Jedi question. It's heated up because of the charge that a Jedi's rash action sparked the Ramamul conflict. A number of powerful senators saw the princess's story as an attempt to divert their attention. Gavin nodded. Is there any evidence that the invaders are still coming in? Actually, no. But logic suggests that the expenditure of resources needed to travel from galaxy to galaxy necessitates gaining a foothold through which those resources can be replenished. The Bothan smiled. If you spend enough credits to get somewhere, you usually plan to stay for a while. Right. Gavin rubbed a hand over his mouth. These skips, how did they take my shields down? We need more research to be certain, but it appears that they have creatures called Dovan basils that are part of the fighter itself. They manipulate gravity, which is how they were able to soak off your shots and rip down your shields. We think that cycling more lower-power shots through the lasers will force the skip to expend a lot of energy creating those black hole shields. As long as it's worried about catching shots, its maneuvering ability is degraded. These strategies are hypothetical, however, and can really only be tested in combat. I see. Gavin pressed his hands together. I can have the squadron simming against these things, then you can point us at them in the rim, and we'll try it. I knew you'd be game for that, which I appreciate. The Bothan sighed. We have another problem, though. Because of the way Princess Leia was dismissed by the Senate, it's political suicide to act as if her report has any credence to it. Yeah, but isn't it real suicide to assume it doesn't? Gavin glanced down at the floor, and then back up into Treyst's violet eyes. Given that your cousin, Borisk Felia, now leads the New Republic, this can't be easy for you. But to ignore... Treyst held up a hand to forestall Gavin's comment. Colonel, I would hope you've seen enough of me through the years to know that I'm not one to follow exactly what my superiors think I should be doing. Treyst opened his hands. I would like to use Rogue Squadron out on the rim. I hope, for all our sakes, we won't encounter any Yunnan Vong. But if we do, we'll take them apart and give the Senate evidence it will never be able to dismiss. Leia turned from her packed luggage and glanced at the suite's doorway as C-3PO opened the door and admitted Elagos Akla. The Kamasi senator gave her a quick smile. She sighed. I thought I'd be ready by now, but I'm just finishing my packing. Please, take your time, Elagos shrugged. Leia waved him into the two-level suite's central chamber, and the Kamasi settled himself into one of the chairs, angled toward the viewport that looked out over Coruscant's cityscape. Leia stuffed a small holocube into a bag and started closing the fasteners. She looked up in time to see her husband, Han, there in the doorway. She heard Elagos rise from his chair. Captain Solo. Han staggered forward and nearly fell down the stairs. With a grunt, he flopped down into one of the chairs opposite Elagos. In the viewport's light, the rainbow of stains on Han's once white tunic was evident. He ran a hand over beard stubble, flashing dirty fingernails as he did so. I have a question for you, Elagos. If I can be of service. I understand you, Kamasi, have strong memories. Leia extended a hand toward Elagos. Forgive me, Elagos. I learned about that from Luke, and I thought my husband... The Kamasi shook his head. I have no doubt you are all to be trusted with this information. We are able, among